Hello, my name is Alicia Malouff, and here is my final project for Holistic Health, Spring 2016. I want to take a minute to acknowledge all of the color artwork that you see in my final piece was done by an artist by the name of Android Jones. He is a graphic artist, which means he does all of his work with computers in an electronic form. And he's based out of Boulder, Colorado, and he also does a lot of improvisational art at different installations around the world and at music events and whatnot. And his art, I believe I included at least one piece of his in every single chronicle that we did this semester because it really spoke to me on a multi-dimensional level. In the 7 dimensions of health, I really felt like he was able to capture a lot of the feelings and portray them in a visual sense, the feelings that I was having inside. And so I think including a lot of his art in my final project was really important to me. Now, all of the words that you see around, I meditated on what was important to me and what did I get from each of the chronicles and each of the 7 dimensions of health, and wrote down the words that came to my mind. You can see the really big words like love, one, yes, really can speak to all of the 7 dimensions of health. Love in your family, love in your spiritual life, love in your physical sense, enough to take care of your body, love in spirituality, love in the mental state and having loving thoughts. Being able to love what you do in your vocation, and being able to have financial health through loving what you do and not necessarily spending all of your money on things that you think are trying to fill a void, but really finding that wholeness and that love within yourself and not trying to get material items to answer that calling. You can also see the word yes and being able to say yes to things in your life that maybe bring you fear or maybe are holding you back. A great example would be this morning my daughter was asking if she could help me make breakfast by cracking the eggs. And you may, out of fear of wasting or maybe dropping eggshells in the breakfast, say no. But it's important to me to say yes, to have that opportunity to teach my child, how to crack an egg and have that opportunity to have that interaction with them. You can also say yes in a spiritual way. You can understand that maybe the way that you see the world isn't the way that somebody else sees the world in their spirituality, and being open-minded and being able to accept different ideas is very important spiritually and also mentally. There's a lot of words up there, so I won't take the time to address every single one of them, but I will read some of them to you. There's love, family, forgiveness, light, peace, beauty, sadness. Sadness and darkness are also very important because without the adverse of the happiness and the joy, we wouldn't really have that balance. And I think it's important to have both sides, both the darkness and the sadness and the happiness and the light, because they are equally as important to health and equally as important to gratitude and understanding and love and forgiveness. I also have eternal because I believe that we are all eternal beings. Balance, finding balance in all of the areas of health and wellness. If you're spending so much time caught up in your physical health, maybe you are sacrificing your mental health, or maybe you're sacrificing relationships or experiences with your family, and it's important to find that balance among all of the dimensions. Innocence, compassion, care, human, nature, connected, harmony, freedom, trust, enjoy, light. Light is one of my favorite because I believe that inside we are all just beings of light, and I believe that deep down being able to find that particular understanding is important to unlocking all of our health and wellness. Also space, patterns, reproduce, spiral, commitment, opening up, having in common, the family, happy, gathering, life, and death. Now the big black spiral in the box that you see is called a Fibonacci spiral, and it is based on the Fibonacci sequence, which is important to me. It's been important to me since I was a small child, and I understood the complexity and the beauty that existed within this number. But if you look at the center of the spiral, you'll see two squares, and each of those squares represents 1. Now, if you add the 1 and 1 together, they equal the area of the next square, which is 2. And if you add those two together, the 1 plus the 2, you get the next square, which is 3. And 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. 5 plus 8 is 13. 8 plus 13 is 21. 13 plus 21 is 34, and it goes on to infinity. Now the sequence itself, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and on, it's indicative of a family tree and found throughout nature. To me, personally, it represents that every interaction that we have with another spirit, whether it's positive or negative, is carried by that creature until we or they pass that energy along. There's a ripple effect for every interaction that we have in our lives. And I enjoy this reminder because I believe that it is scientific proof that in nature that we do have and make a difference in the world, even just one person. The sequence itself is important because it's found in nature over and over again. So if you think of a nautilus shell, you will find this spiral, that seashell. It's on the branches of trees where the leaves are placed. It's in sunflowers, daisies, pine cones, roses, pineapples, ferns, bananas, apples. This spiral is found in spiral galaxies and also in hurricanes. The human body has 1 head, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 nose, 2 nostrils, 2 arms, 2 legs, 5 fingers on each hand, and 5 fingers on each foot. And those are all Fibonacci numbers. Studies of the human face have shown that facial features are considered to be more attractive if the dimensions are equal to pi. And pi is 2 Fibonacci spirals that are put together. The shape of the human ear and the cochlea form a Fibonacci spiral. The horn of a ram, the seed placement, and the number of seeds in many fruits are also Fibonacci numbers. And if you look at that Fibonacci spiral and you invert it and place it on top of each other, they form a yin and a yang, and that's where that circular pi idea comes from. What about DNA strands? Those also contain characteristics of the Fibonacci spiral. So it's also referred to as the golden spiral, or also the spiral of life. It can reference the beginning or the seeds of life, the seeds of thoughts, the seeds of emotions. And the symbol can also serve to remind us to continue to spiral our lives outward. So the inner spiral, to me, means to continue infinitely to look inward and to always reflect and to always go deeper and deeper into yourself. And at the same time, to spiral outward into the vast expanse of the universe, growing, loving, and living. So I'll take a moment to zoom in on these pictures so that you can see a little bit more detail of the actual artwork. And you can see how it represents some of the ideas that I have. Living in harmony, the unlimited possibilities for growth, and the expansion of our mind in the universe, the frequencies that we exist, our expression, the breath, our connectedness in the light. Thank you so much for watching my presentation today. Again, my name is Alicia Malouff, and the artist used in my art in pieces, his name is Android Jones. Have a great afternoon.